Next, I'd like to bring up my friend Mike Hanke, who we've been all waiting to hear because we hear that he's got a special story, and he was kind of worried that he'd have to follow Dave's lead today, and I said, no, I'm going to move you up because we know you're going to take more time. So, anyway, with that, I'll bring you Mike Hanke.
I don't like to read from pre-prepared speeches or the like, so I'm not going to. However, I'm going to read one little excerpt here real quick before I start, as soon as I get to it. And it states, it's 2 paragraphs. I was trying my hardest to feel war, to relieve the power of walking through with a weapon and a purpose, said the soldier, who has not been named. Since I got home, I feel powerless. He served in war 7 years ago, yet he still has shrapnel in his body, nightmare in his sleep, and a tremor in his hand when he leaves the safety of his home. To me, that says a lot. Welcome home, Vietnam vets. Welcome home, all vets. Thank everyone for their service. Thank the families for their service. The encourage and power that the family of veterans give to their veterans is priceless. It's how they move on day and day and day when either at war or serving our nation in foreign lands. I have the most wonderful job in the world. 2 years ago, I was retired on my couch being Papa Daycare. My daughters do miss the free daycare service. I received an email advising me that the position of director at Klein Hall in Chippewa Falls was available. I replied to that email and said, I appreciate the heads up. However, it's not really my degree emphasis, blah, 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 blah. The next day, I received a response to that email. Email from it said, Mike, send them your resume. 8 working days later, I was running the facility. I absolutely love what I do. We rebuild veterans so they come back to our communities. As a matter of fact, I was just talking to Eric, who's, for any veteran in Rusk County, I can't say enough about what Eric does. And I see that in Chippewa Falls. I believe in the past 2 years, we've had 5 Rusk County veterans come to our center. Some of them may be here today. You would not know that because we protect their privacy. So the services down in Chippewa Falls do affect directly the veterans in this community. As well, I know as a fact that I have a previous veteran that's very involved in one of the VSOs that meets out of the center. In FY 2018, 38 veterans that were at the center moved back to their communities. They did so with their health care needs taken care of, their mental health care taken care of, financial struggles being taken care of. The program works. In FY 2018, we served 80 veterans. Some of them are still there. Average age of the veterans is not a millennial. It's 52 years old. I'm 54. I'm what homeless veterans look like. What I need now is full cooperation of everybody inside this room and the back room. It's a way to show people what homeless veterans look like, feel like, and where they're at. So what I would like everybody to do is that everyone would close their eyes. Now, for those people with their eyes closed, if you lost your income for 30 days and could make it and would lose your home, please stand up. If anyone in this room that lost their income for 60 days and will lose their home, please stand up. If anyone in this room that will lose their income for 90 days and lose their home? Please stand up. If anyone in this room will lose their income for 120 days and then lose their home, please stand up. If anyone in this room will lose their income for 150 days, please stand up. Who's ever stood up, please stay standing. Okay. I want everybody else to open their eyes. Okay. Turn around, everybody, please, so everybody can see who's ever standing. That is what homelessness looks like. There are many reasons it happens. We don't know the cause. Go ahead and sit down. I'm just stealing my gun and walk around. Thanks, because I'm not a guy to stand behind the podium. Let's talk about it. The brain, the human brain, is the third largest organ in the human body. It's an organ. If you have a problem with your heart, which is an organ, you get it fixed. If you have a problem with your liver, you get it fixed. The largest organ in our body is our skin. If you have a wound on your skin, do you let it bleed? You put a Band-Aid on it? Possibly. You get stitches in it? Possibly. Now, if we revert back to the human brain, which is an organ, when there's a problem with it, no one wants to get it fixed. Why not? It's all it is, it's an organ. A simple organ. Now, at the center in Chippewa Falls, we house up to 42 veterans. At the center in Green Bay, we house 17. At the center in King, we house 26. Down in Union Grove, which is just outside of Racine, we house 40. Out of all those centers, not one veteran is there because they're homeless. Not one. Not a single veteran is in our centers because they're homeless. They're there because of what led up to the homelessness. If we can identify that piece, if we can find out why decisions were made post-service to our nation that has now built into homelessness, we can identify that one piece. That one piece. We not only fix homelessness, we fix veteran suicide, we fix veteran substance abuses, we fix anger issues, PTSD, depressions, anxiety. I've had veterans there that have been raped. I've had veterans there, one in specific I can think of. This veteran, in a matter of 6 months, watched his wife die. 6 months later, his son was killed in Iraq. How many of us could withstand that type of mental anguish? Not a lot. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yes. So, yes, there are veterans at that center. Yes, there will always be veterans at that center. Thank goodness that the Wisconsin Department of Veteran Affairs recognizes that. Thank goodness we have great legislators, former great legislators that support these programs. But they do rely on community support. The center in Chippewa Falls receives $47.32 per day for veterans to care for them. What type of care would we receive in nursing homes at 47 bucks a day? What type of, who here knows what the average cost to take care of a prisoner that's incarcerated per day? It's about 100 bucks. However, the grant pays $47.32 a day. Chippewa Falls creates 560 hot meals a week. Who here has a grocery bill that could withstand that type of cost? 560 meals a week. How much would that cost you? Since the new fiscal started, 1 October, thanks to organizations that are associated with VMA, thanks to great organizations with the VFW in Eau Claire, the American Legion, the AMVET statewide, Since October 1st, do you know how much it's cost to feed every single veteran? Knowing that it's 560 hot meals a week? How much do you think it's cost the taxpayer? Zero. These programs work and they survive on $47 a day because people care. I know the VMA cares. I know the Vietnam veterans care. That's why they have a suite at the center. So, I'm just about done. I know you want to hear me too much longer. I learned this trick from Dave Dean years ago. He doesn't make speeches, he just makes notes that he reflects back on, right, David? See? Oh, yes. A sad closing story, because there's never happy stories. Last July, I kind of double up with what I do professionally. I am the director in Chippewa Falls. I'm also the deputy executive director of the foundation that I oversee operations in Chippewa, King, Green Bay, and Union Grove. As a volunteer, I'm the AMVET State of Wisconsin Vice Commander. This June, the good Lord willing, I'll be elected as the next commander for the state of Wisconsin to represent AMVETs statewide. So last year, after I was elected as vice commander for the state, I was asked to attend Price County Veterans Picnic, not too far from here. And while there, I was talking to a veteran from Phillips. And he knows what I do for a living, and he said, we don't have a whole lot of homeless veterans up around us. He says, I remember we had one, he lived in his car, and then one day he got hit by a logging truck and he was killed. And I got thinking about his story. And he further stated that, when he said this, that they couldn't understand how he got the accident because it was clear roads, wasn't winter time. He said it was the weirdest thing. He says he just, like he fell asleep or something and got hit by a logging truck. I'm driving home back Chippewa Falls and it dawned on me. Son of a bitch. Committed suicide. He was in a car accident. He committed suicide. That's why we need these centers. That's why we need the support of not just the veteran community. We need the support of the Lions, the Elks, the Scouts, the churches. Every single organization you can think of, that's who we need support. Do they have to send us a check? No. You don't have to send us nothing. We hope you do. But we need the moral support. We need the people saying, hey, there's a center in Chippewa Falls. Because I'm telling you what, right now, currently we have 38 veterans, 38 veterans residing there. Which is a high, it's an over 90% occupancy rate. If those beds, if we had 10 empty beds on a constant basis, you know what the federal government's going to do? They're going to shorten the grant. In 10 years, we're going to see a bubble. The Iraq and Afghanistan veterans are going to be in their 40s and 50s, and they're going to need those beds. So we need the support. All you got to do is talk about us. Mention us. But on a happy note, I'm going to quit right here. Next. Someone's after me. Today is the last day of our second quarter for FY19. We've had 13 veterans leave the program that time. 11 of the 13 went to apartments, housing apartments. They're housed. They're no longer on the street. 85% of the veterans in the second quarter of FY19 are home.
What's your status? I know last year they talked about closing you guys up. What's the status of that?
What happened was, Klein Hall, there's 4 centers in Wisconsin. Each center is affiliated with the VA center. Chippewa Falls and Klein Hall was fine. The centers in King and Union Grove were going to lose their grant. The federal VA felt that just the housing unit itself wasn't enough in those markets, so the state then rewrote the grants, and so they're not only just housing, they're also clinical, where they have mental health professionals on staff. They conduct PTSD groups right there at the centers. They do AODA programs right there at the center. They do any type of clinical problem that they can help that veteran with. So their grants have changed, and so right now they're good. As a matter of fact, they actually expanded beds because they opened the center in Green Bay. Within 30 days, that center was full.
All right, so that's helpful.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Next, I got a question. Who owns Klein Hall?
Pardon me?
Who owns?
Klein Hall in Chippewa Falls is owned by the Wisconsin Department of Veteran Affairs. I don't work for the state. I don't work for the federal government. I work for a nonprofit foundation that facilitates operations at all 4 centers. So the state owns it. We don't own it. We run on a zero balance. Whatever we take in has to go out. That's why a nonprofit runs it.
Is VORP taking over VHRP?
No, VORP is like VHRP. VHRP is a Veterans Housing and Recovery Program, which is a treatment first model. If they need treatment for PTSD, for alcohol, for anything, they get treatment first at a VA center or a non-VA center. Then they come and reside at the VHRP. VORP, or the Veterans Outreach Recovery Program, is state-ran. That is a housing first model. So if there's a veteran on the street, there's a VORP rep that works in this county, which Eric can definitely give you information on that VORP representative. They'll do is they will grab that veteran, male or female, by the shirt, if they have to, put them in a hotel where they're safe, get them off the street, and if they need a treatment, give it to them. They may be housed at my center, they may be housed, they just need temporary help. There's a lot of programs out there. If you know, the 3 main programs that operate very well in our state is VHRP, VORP, and SSVF. SSVF is headquartered right over here at Indian Head Agency, same agency my wife works at.
Right.
And that's all.
Does that bypass then Klein Hall if they go through VORP?
Yes.
Or SFBF?
They can, yes. Yes. You can bypass the VHRP by going directly to VORP. If there's, for example, let's say a veteran has a job and just lost their apartment for some reason. And they need to help get back to the apartment, but they're fine. That was it. The best program is VORP. However, if they don't have an income, how are they going to pay for it, so on and so forth, then the best program. So it depends what the individual veteran needs. Eric?
VORP, the individuals they centralize on have the AODA, substance abuse issues, and are homeless. Mike won't really take them until they're addressed. They have to have them addressed before they go into VHR.
Well, Mike brought up this gentleman that lost a son-in-law and a wife. I know, and he's now a counselor at Ellie Phillips.
Yeah.
We were talking about someone today that I know that's been at Klein Hall, but maybe back in the same situation again. Mike can tell you, I've already brought one of those guys back to Mike that used to be there. So I'm trying to figure out which way to help people in Chippewa Falls Valley area. You know, they go to SFBF, they go to VORP, or you come to Mike.
Yeah. I always promote and suggest, I know Eric up here is very educated with this. Tammy next door in Barron County is very well. The team down Eau Claire County with Eric and Adam. I'm very educated. Mike Haley, obviously, and Chippewa is. Your county veteran service officers are the group that we have serving this part of the state. If Green Bay Packers had them, we have the Super Bowl championship team there. They're great people. Point is, there's a lot of programs available to veterans in distress. They're all there. We just got to talk about them. And there's nothing wrong. I mean, there's nothing to be ashamed of being homeless. I have veterans walk into the center on their first day there, and they'll be 50 years old. They'll walk in with a a Walmart bag. That's what they have in this world. And they'll have their head down. Shame. You know what I say to them? I say this to every single one, and I've seen it time and time again. I stop them, I tell them, pick your goddamn head. This is a place of honor. Honorable men live here. Honorable men live at these centers. They need your support. Joe?
Do you have ladies in the same situation, veteran ladies?
There are, obviously, homeless veterans also affects the female community of veterans. 50% of our current military is made up of females. Because the program comes from the federal VA dictates if it's male or female. Our grant is male. So do we run into a situation with female veterans? Yes. Do we close our eyes to them? No. Quite often, female veterans that are homeless have children. And so that's where we use FORP and SSVF for immediate housing needs. So, just not this particular program, however, there are alternative programs for the vets. As well as maybe a family that's homeless as a veteran. That's where FORP comes in very well. SSVF comes in very well. So that I know Ed Martin, I believe, is he back with SSVF now up here?
Pending.
Pending? Hopefully so.
Paul Huber's fourth, so I got his contact.
Oh, yeah. So either one of those gentlemen, if you know a veteran that's at risk, and the key point is of that risk, and I hope I'm not talking too long, but the questions came up. If you know a veteran at risk, if you know a veteran that's behind their rent by a month, if you know a veteran that's behind their mortgage by 2 months, 3 months, you can go to SSVF. They will pay their back rent. They will get them through so they don't become homeless. Stop that stage. Average cost to rebuild a veteran at the VHRP is about $10,000, or it's about $1,000. So they're able to do more with less. However, sometimes the VHRP is more structured, more needed, because it is monitored. You almost have to see it. I know the West Wisconsin County Veteran Service Organization, I think in May, I think your meeting's gonna be at the center, is that correct?
In April.
In April.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so, I encourage anyone that's never been to that facility, stop out and take a look, especially legislators. That's where the money comes from, bottom line, so. Any other questions out there before I get rid of the mic? I'll stay late, give me one brochures or my business card. I know some veterans already contacted me. If you notice how we survive, you look at the boxes back there in the corner. Come on up here, young man.
No, I'm going to get to that.
Okay, all right. So we'll let him take his prize. That's from him.
No
So.
questions.
Any more questions at all?
Not yet.
Well, what would be the first place to send people to? The Mike Daly?
County Veteran Service officers, every single time. Because they have the contact number. So let's say it's right now at this time, they don't have a place to sleep tonight. There's no way I would get approved from the VA tonight. It only takes usually less than a week to get a veteran in our program to the VA. It's quick. You're not waiting 6 months. However, if there's an immediate housing need, get a hold of the VA or the CVSO, because they have the contact numbers for board. They'll pick up the phone, they'll put it on time. It's quick.
Great answers to the question.
It's quick.
Much.
Thank you very much.
Always great information. If you'll notice, we don't have any keynote speakers because all of our speakers are very good and very informative. So we try to mix them in. So that helps to get a lot of information out to our community. Apology.